Yes, everyone, welcome to a very special double toasted movie review extravaganza. It's so special.
Extra extravaganza.
We got Captain Blackass over here. What's going on? What are you training for?
Well, you cut me on my day off.
What you doing? Training for the Winter Olympics over there? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, just like Rocky against the Russians. You know, we might go against Afghanistan. Matter of fact, I think they're where is it? They're talking about having the Olympics somewhere super crazy hot.
Right here, apparently. Damn, well, I know we're talking about Dumb and Dumber, but I mean, you got to act like it.
Hey, I wanted to get into the spirit of it.
Hey, take that shit off. I can't look at you like that. Take that hood off.
No.
Come on, man. You can't sit up there the whole time like this. Come on now.
You know what? This hood is surprisingly comfortable. I always say, like, man, how can superheroes fight in masks? But this is easy. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you going to wear this the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Welcome, to Silly and Sillier, right? Part 1. This damn fool really going to sit up here with this thing? All right, looking like Mushmouth off of Fat Albert. Or Dumb Donald, whichever one had that fucking pie crust on his head.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's Mushmouth, but it's Dumb Donald.
Whichever one. Yeah, we got fucking Dumb Martin over here.
To go with Dumb and Dumber 2.
To go with Dumb and Dumber 2. People, let me tell y'all why we are here talking about this. Now, we already did one review for this movie, but then, Martin, I got home and I really thought about it. Because, see, we did the review after we watched the movie.
Which is the only way you can do a proper review is after you watch the movie.
No, sometimes you got to sit back and I never like to use this word here, but marinate on it a little bit. Because I really need to think about these things sometimes.
Now, when you first told me you want to do this, I was like, say what? But then I thought back to that night, and I was honestly shocked by how your review came out.
Now,
I was like, am I really going to have to fight with him on this, or how are we not on the same page?
You know what? That's the thing, man. Okay, so when I did the review for Dumb and Dumber 2, I came home and I realized I gave the movie a rental.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And I was,
yes, you did, Brett. Yes, you did. And I was like, why would he tell our audience to rent this?
And you know what? I really sat back and thought about it. And I just looked in the mirror. And when I looked in the mirror, I saw the black version of Jim Carrey. I was like, no, I can't get this.
You can't get it.
I'm like, damn, you really like that movie? It was good. I'm like, you know.
What is that? Because it's bouncing all over your teeth. I don't think it ever landed in the spot you wanted it to go.
Apparently, I got a roach on my tooth that keeps crawling all over the place. Hey, it worked well when I practiced this. It stayed there. Apparently, I don't have this flea trained that well. But man, I thought about it. I said, you know what? This movie ain't gonna make me look dumb. You know, it may be called Dumb and Dumber 2, but this shit ain't gonna make me look stupid. So I said, Martin, we got to come back and talk about this because I really don't feel like I gave it a proper review.
Because I'm sure anybody who saw this is like, here we go. This is how they paying for the site. They got paid off, or at least Corey did.
No.
Which I would say no, he didn't. But then I started to wonder, did Corey get paid off?
Did I get my Dumb and Dumber check?
Yeah.
No, people. And maybe if y'all were thinking that, let me come back and just reinforce that I do value my criticisms very much, and I want to come back and do this again. I want to talk about this one more time.
All right.
Now, and there's some things that need to be said about this film, because I want to say I do get it, because I was talking about, was the world really looking for Dumb and Dumber 2 after 20 years? And I thought about it, and from a studio perspective, I can see because, you know, Dumb and Dumber was successful when it came out.
Sure.
I mean, it helped. One of the movies that helped launch the careers of the Farrelly brothers.
That's right.
But
and also Jim Carrey.
That's right. And then they tried to make this a franchise. So at one time they had a cartoon.
Yeah.
You know, and that was good, but it wasn't all that big. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't all that big.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it was a CBS cartoon. It was after Saved by the Bell. So people were already starting to abandon networks for Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
And this came on that later in the day, like 10:30, 11.
Yeah, it was just kind of lost in the shuffle, man. It wasn't that bad. But then they said, all right, y'all don't want no animation. We get it. How about we do this? Jim Carrey ain't trying to come back and do this.
Right.
So how about we give y'all a prequel? We give you Dumb and Dumber when Harry met Lloyd, the young version.
Right.
And now it was just some straight up bullshit. Shit, I don't even think these two kids ever acted again after
Man,
this.
I swear to God, it's the only time it's ever happened. I got to that screening. I was a little bit late. I was going in.
Yeah.
And Chris was coming out. He was walking out of the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, have I missed much? And he grabbed me by the arm and wouldn't let me go sit down. He was like, you're not going to watch this. Come on. We're going to go get a beer. I was like, come on, man. I'm trying to review this. He's like, no.
And you know what? And he was mad at me because I dodged that bullet.
Yeah, that's right. You weren't even there.
He's like, I wasn't even there. He held a grudge against me for like a month. He's like, you motherfucker. If you had seen the things that I have seen, these motherfuckers right here.
Yeah.
So they said, all right, we get that. Nobody wants to see that. We get it. Y'all want that original dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. We get it. We get it. So you know what? We'll see if we can get these two guys together and if we can get this thing going. And it took 20 years, but something happened. They finally got these guys back for this movie right here. Now, as we said, Martin, I'm gonna tell you the plot one more time because it's important before we move on. You know, with this one, we've got Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. They return as Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn.
Uh-huh.
And so in this movie, Harry is hit by what the hell? Oh, I thought that was pause right there because he was standing so still.
I know.
I was like, what the hell?
I thought your equipment broke.
I thought that shit was frozen. Did you see that?
Stop the show again. Like, oh no.
I know. Jim Carrey's like, hey, he was like, hey. He's like, ain't so dumb now, am I? Now who's the stupid one?
Yeah, it's funny because that punchline that he has in this with the whole gotcha, he just got you.
He just got me.
You sure you want to do this review again to try to make yourself look smarter? Because it's not going so well right now.
Wow, he got my look. He's like, Corey, you dumb motherfucker. He actually fell for it.
We're gonna put you in the third movie.
Yeah. You're gonna be the black dumb one. But anyway. Harold, he's hit with two bits of news. One good, one bad. Well, the good news is that he has a daughter out there somewhere, a long-lost daughter.
Yeah.
And he met the mom, played by Kathleen Kennedy, and he can Kathleen Turner, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so they can go find her. Now, the bad news is that, well, his kidney's failing. And you know, that can lead to a very short life for Mr.
Well, he
Dunn.
needs to find that daughter.
And so now he needs to find that daughter, Martin, if he ever wants to keep living with his dumb ass.
Right.
Now, you know something? I look at this and I say 20 years. 20 years that it took them to do this. 20 years for a fucking road trip movie.
Yeah.
Man, this is one of those sequels where they actually had nothing to do, nothing to say. They just knew that, hey, we got these two guys back together again.
Right.
And so we got a movie, but we got to hurry up and make this because, well, these guys ain't that young anymore.
Well, something like this shows you the shallowness of how so many Hollywood movies really are put together. Because, like, we like going to movies because we love the stories. And that idea that there's a script out there floating around that people are trying to make, it takes them 8, sometimes 20 years to get it made, but finally it does. There's a romanticism in that journey. This is more the like, all right, this guy said yes, this guy said yes, this guy said yes. It's greenlit, here's the money, make it happen. And it's like, all right, I guess write something on some paper so we can start rolling these cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's like 8 writers credited on this. And that just makes you think, okay, it was 8 guys sitting around at a bar with 2 cocktail napkins who wrote stuff on them. And at the end of the night, somebody paid the tab and somebody gathered all the napkins and just typed it all into a script.
You know, it could have just been one writer who wiped his ass
Yeah.
and turned that in. 20 fucking years for this?
Yeah.
20 people, let me tell you something. 20 years is important to remember here because in 20 years, Hollywood has turned out a lot of dumb shit.
Yep.
And it's turned out more dumb shit. We live in a world where Friedberg and Seltzer exist. You know, the Date movie and Meet the Spartans guys?
Although it's been a while since we've had one from them.
But they've turned out a great amount of stupid shit.
Yes, they have.
So when you get this movie right here where 20 years it took you to make a lame-ass road trip movie, that's infuriating to me.
Well, yeah, plus, you know, you got the idea like, hey, forget Freeberg and Seltzer and the, inappropriate comedy and you know, all this other stuff, Movie 43. These guys are the kings. They started this. Now let's see what they got to do. They're going to show you how it's done.
Exactly. You know, and that's what I was thinking. I said, man, if y'all gonna go back to that original dumb shit, then make it good.
Yeah. Show us why it was loved in the first place.
But just because it's called Dumb and Dumber don't mean you gotta take that shit literally. I mean, put some irony in there somewhere, you know? It's something where the whole charm of two idiots like this in a movie is that you make their stupidity clever.
Right.
You don't just give them a bunch of fart jokes and dick jokes to do. They do that in cartoons today, man.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. And the thing is, it's not that they don't have the, like, you know, I know that fart jokes and dick jokes can be funny to a lot of people. But here, they barely even put that in. I mean, the surprising thing about this is how lacking it is in everything.
You know, and here's the thing about it. Martin, you were right. We got this movie before. There's a subplot in this movie where Laurie Holden, the girl from The Walking Dead, hanging out with Rob Riggle, and they're plotting to kill this dude until these two dumbasses come in and foil the whole plot. Not only has that been the plot of something else, but it's the plot of a movie that the Farrelly brothers already did.
Yep.
That was the same shit that they did in their remake of the fucking Three Stooges.
Yeah. And the whole time watching this, I just kept thinking back to that Three Stooges movie. And I guess I've gone back and forth on it. Because at first I was like, wow, what a awesome movie that was. The way those guys imitated the Three Stooges is so much fun. And then I watched it again. I'm like, all right, well, the movie's not that great, but the performances are good. Now watching this, I'm like, no, actually, I'm going back to my original opinion. Because that movie, you know what? It had movement. It had gags. It had physical gags.
Yeah.
Sound effects. All the things that you want to keep something like this going. And your three leads, yeah, they were idiots, but they almost like they had superpowers. There was something interesting about them. But with these guys, I'm like, I don't even understand what kind of dumb they are. Are they just dumb? Are they naive? Are they retarded? Are they from another country? You know, you're just like, okay, it goes back and forth. Like,
yeah,
I don't get it, you guys.
Excuse my expression, but if I was a mentally challenged, I almost said retarded. I'm gonna even be derogatory about it. If I was retarded, I'd be offended by this shit. I'd be like,
you'd be like, don't put that on me.
I was like, hey man, you making me look bad now. Shit, me and my brethren, we ain't that fucking retarded.
Exactly.
And the thing is, I look at this and it's like, man, y'all so lazy. You had this movie before. I saw the Three Stooges, and I remember giving my review of it, and I said, well, it's all right. You know, it's okay. I even remember giving you shit. I'm like, Martin, you love that shit. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You genius, man. You saw something. You ahead of your time. You saw something the rest of us didn't, because this movie is fucking classic compared to this.
It really is.
And the reason why, especially if you've seen the Three Stooges, that kind of silly humor works because it was more family oriented in a way. It was a little bit cleaner than what they did right there. When you watch this movie here, I mean, it can't figure out if it wants to walk that line between being somewhat of a cute dumb movie or if it wants to be nasty. Yeah. I mean, you want to know, I mean, it gets to the point where, hey, you know, sometimes if this could be a kid's movie, and then next thing you know, these two dipshits are rubbing their hands into the dusty old vagina of an old woman.
Yeah. You know, it can't decide which way it wants to sell out. Does it want to sell out by being a tame PG movie that can rake in the most money? Yeah. Or does it want to sell out by doing offensive jokes because they don't feel like writing better ones?
It's like the Farrelly brothers are caught between the three. Do they want to do Three Stooges, or do they want to do There's Something About Mary? Yeah. You know, they're caught in that fucking nasty ass limbo right there.
With the hope that, well, maybe if we do it just right, we can pull in everybody. Yeah. Or if you don't, then you repulse everybody. And ta-da!
Yeah. To me, it was just kind of an uneven dumb in this movie. And I'm going to say something here about the two actors, because you brought up a good point. And I'm going to reiterate this point here, because Jim Carrey can do this shit all day long for all I give a shit. He can do Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey, like I said, man, he looks like fucking Lloyd back in the day. Right. Jim Carrey, the thing is, Jim Carrey, I respect you as an actor, man. I think you should get more credit for it, but that fucking face ain't gonna ever let you do a serious role. I'm sorry. You were just born with that face. You made millions from it. That's how it's gonna be.
That's weird. He looks like Henry Rollins in that photo right there.
He looks like Henry Rollins.
I'm a liar!
Henry Rollins' mentally challenged little brother right there. You ain't gonna, look, man, I don't blame you for doing this. You ain't gonna go off and do any serious movies. If Jim Carrey tried to do a slave movie or a Holocaust movie, that'd be the funniest. You'd be laughing at them Jews through the whole film, man. They be in concentration camps, and with this fucking face, you be laughing at that motherfucker like it's the best comedy you've ever seen. I get it. Take the fucking check. I get it. This is your bread and butter now. But Jeff Daniels, man, that motherfucker, that must have been some fat checks handed out for this.
Well, of course.
Some fat checks.
I'm sure that's what brought him back. I mean, you see any interview, they go like, oh, man, we love working together. And once he was on board, of course I was with it. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They also wrote me a huge check. Did I forget to mention that part?
Jeff Daniels, man, because normally if I was Jeff Daniels, I would have said, you better get the fuck away from me with this. I'm an actor now.
Yeah, yeah. Because he had kind of disappeared, but now he's got his HBO show, The Newsroom. He's back in prominence.
Oh, hell yeah. Look at him right there. Look at all serious.
He was like, hey, you want to come back and do Dumb and Dumber 2? The fuck you think I want to do?
That's what it looks like.
Well, what if we paid you all the money in this suitcase? Well, that's a different story.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude the first time. I hadn't had my coffee yet.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. He looks like when they first just gave him the script.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he looks like, are you fucking serious? Get the fuck out of my face. Oh! Well, you didn't say that. Yeah, your ass got silly real quick. But the thing is, you look at him right here. I'll show you to him one more time. You look at him. He's so serious now.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, he's an actor.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't built for this silly shit no more. Back in the day when he was younger, he could do it. When he was out there earning his keep and, he was coming up still and he was trying to run up behind Jim Carrey. That's fine.
Yeah.
But now, man, your face just ain't made for it no more.
Yeah.
It just ain't made for you. You know what he looks like? He looks like that fucking crazy cat lady across the street that always tried to give you candy.
He does.
The one that always tried to invite you in and you saw the fucking cats in our house.
He has a grandma look.
He has a grandma look. You want a piece of coffee candy? Just looks scary right now. You ain't built for this shit no more, man.
He's that grandma who partied real hard at Woodstock. And she's cleaned up some, but not too much. And you know what? Look, tell me that doesn't look like a hoarder. It looks like a grandmother that's a hoarder.
Looks like a hoarder. Look like a hoarder and a whore. Look like that old woman who was just waiting for your ass to like turn legal. Like she was nice to you when you were a kid. Always give you candy the moment you turned 18. You want some candy? And some pussy too. He was like, oh shit, oh wait.
I'm just kidding with you.
But I'm not. Look at that old woman from The Shining who got the bathtub. Jack Nicholson, come here and fuck me. I'm telling you, man, the shit is. I can't really buy him in that role anymore. And the other thing, like I said, man, there's the movie. It's frustrating because it has moments where they do play on that dumbness of these characters.
Sure.
They do. There are moments where their stupidity works in the movie, and there are moments where they introduce a joke. I showed this clip before, but I'm gonna show it again just to get my point across. They'd rather go for the cop out. They're like, hey, recognize this from this show right here, instead of trying to actually write something original.
Oh yeah. Hey, who's this?
That's Butthole. I found him out in the alley a couple years ago.
Why'd you name him Butthole?
Oh, because of this.
Oh, yeah.
You guys never seen cats before?
Yeah, you just in all this 20 years, you ain't never seen a cat asshole before.
Pushing 60 years old, you never seen a cat.
I like what you've done with the place. Nice cappuccino machine. Who's the astronaut?
Oh, that's my roommate.
Roommate? You got a new roommate?
Well, I mean, I had to get somebody to pay your half of the rent while you were in the hospital. How's it going, Ice Pick?
Best day ever. Greatest day of my life, really.
Breaking Bad, get it?
Cooks up a rock candy that'll make you dizzy. Folks come from all over the city to buy it.
It's burning my eyes. Must be Cajun style.
See, that cat, this whole deal with this cat, you see this cat eating meth? I thought that cat was going to show up, I thought he was going to be a reoccurring character. I thought he was going to be showing up throughout the movie and get like meth face and shit, but they don't do anything with that joke.
Well, yeah.
They don't even do anything with the Breaking Bad
it's
joke.
It's a lot to set up that joke and then just abandon it completely.
Yeah, they just let that shit alone.
And maybe it's on the editing room floor somewhere.
No, it ain't. No, you know good and good. Come on, man.
No, man, because the thing about comedies like this, these ones that are written on the fly, they wait. They edit it down to an hour and a half, but then it gets released. The uncut version with an extra 30 minutes of jokes.
With extra dumbness.
And let me tell you something. All these movies that get released with this extra footage, the uncut, that extra footage is usually not worth watching. Matter of fact, it'll make you like the movie that you loved less.
Less. That's true. What's up?
Oh, just to say, like, the way this movie is, I can't even imagine what was considered not good enough to go.
Well, just wait for the director's cut. 20% more dumb shit. Fat checks, Martin. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Fat checks, because they even got Kathleen Turner come out of retirement for this. You know, she'd been hiding. Because you know how hot she was back in the day?
Oh, I'm telling you.
She done heard everybody tell her, damn, you used to be hot. Well, she said, you know what, fuck it. I just ain't going to come out no more.
I'm tired of hearing that.
I'm tired of hearing that. Why? I know I used to be hot. I mean, she was.
I got mirrors too, asshole.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, you never had this back in the day, so fuck you. But the thing is, they got her ass out of retirement. And I told you, I don't think she looks that bad, but I'm like, out of all the shit they could have pulled you out for, they pulled you out for this?
We go track her down for you. There's no lawsuit against that.
Are you guys serious? You'd help me out?
Of course we'll help you out. We're gonna need some wheels.
I'll lend you a car.
Dennis Dunn.
Yeah, using this address and our superior instincts, you and your little girl are going to be having a family reunion in no time. Cheers!
Whoa! Wait, where'd you get that?
The Slurpee machine in the back.
That's embalming fluid.
Oh. Does it have aspartame?
No.
Cool.
Okay, that's probably the one joke I
It's
laughed
the
at.
diet stuff that'll kill you.
Yeah, you know what? That was funny. That was funny. Even though Kathleen Turner, she's getting to sound like a goddamn Saint Bernard when she talks. Like, I don't think she looks that bad, but whenever she's talking, you're like,
It's the combination of what she looks like now as compared to what she used to look like, and the voice as well. Because her voice, because back in the day when she was hot, you know, it was kind of like a little smoky voice. You know, she was the voice of Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
So that kind of deep female voice was like,
yeah.
ooh.
Oh, that's right. She was Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now today she's goddamn Beethoven the dog. You know? I ain't saying she like a dog. I'm just saying, open your mouth. Hell, if you don't lose weight, give your tongue some exercise or something, because you can't get words to try to struggle to get out.
You know what thing is, man? She's in this movie. She's got it hard enough. I don't want to rag on her no more.
Yeah, why make things worse for yourself for this shit? Fat checks, though, Martin. Fat checks. I tell you, though, Martin, as much as I've want to come back and say that I didn't really rail in this movie hard enough, I will also say that I didn't give it credit enough for the funny things that it did.
Oh, okay. Well, what was the other one?
Hey, man, I'm telling you, there are 3 jokes in there where they sincerely did play with their stupidity and make something clever out of it.
Okay.
And they weren't dirty jokes. They weren't dick jokes. It was something where it was almost kind of cute. And that even made it funnier.
Okay.
And like that. And there were times when they're being mischievous, man, like when they're actually being like kids.
Yeah.
That's funny to me, too. I tell you, man, when they set Rob Riggle on fire in this movie, that cracked me up. Man, I know you heard me not laughing for about a good 15 minutes.
I did.
I know you were mad, too. God damn. You know, because I know you didn't want to laugh at this movie. When you heard me laugh, you're like, man, I know you dumb, but you ain't that dumb.
Well, because I'm sitting there with an audience who are laughing because they're all hyped up for it. And I hear their laughing dwindling. And I'm like, yeah, they're coming over. They're starting to realize. But at one point, I hear you way in the back. I was like, that motherfucker.
I brought him back. Like, you know what? I almost like, I feel mad at myself because I was laughing way after the joke was done. And the audience, they were kind of like getting out of it. Like, okay, we begin to realize this ain't that funny. But here comes old dumbass. Well, this guy likes it.
Like, why?
I don't know, man. But I tell you, man, I like this movie, man, for the funny parts. And the funny parts I liked. The funny parts I liked. It's frustrating because I wish that the movie had actually kept to that. That's frustrating to see that, man, there are points in this movie where you had it. You actually had it. And if you kept that tone up through the whole thing, you would have had a decent sequel.
Really?
I'm telling you, those bright spots revealed to me that they had something. Because Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey, they work well together. They're just giving a lot of stupid shit to do.
All right, I'll give you this. They worked well together, and they were consistent with their characterization.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all. Okay, I was like, dude, please go on.
No, that's
Like, that's it. That's it.
Because that whole murder plot with with Rob Riggle and what's the girl's name?
Oh, Laurie Holden.
Laurie Holden.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so convoluted that like it disappears, and when it comes back, I'm like, I don't even remember what they were trying to do here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The movie's called Dumb and Dumber 2. Y'all done this twice. You don't need no intricate plot like that.
No.
Yeah, just make a movie that all just fuck with each other, play pranks on each other or something. I mean, there are moments there are bright spots in, but the movie really is a bad movie. I mean, it's like finding some diamonds in a big old stinky piece of shit.
I got the impression at times that like this started out as a script for what was going to be a sequel to the Three Stooges movie. Like if that had been hugely successful,
yeah,
they got guys who were they're actors, comedic actors, but you didn't know all that well. Maybe Sean Hayes because he did what's the show he said the gay guy, I can't remember. Anyway, but nobody who was going to ask for too much money to come back a second time.
Yeah,
and they probably had a bare bones of a script they were going to use. And just like, well, we're not going to make that movie.
Yeah.
We got, these guys. Just touch it up and make it for them.
I can see that. So you still hold on to some old bullshit rating?
Yeah.
You ain't changing my mind.
Don't tell me you brought me back in here just so you could still give it a rental.
Well, Martin, I thought about this, and it's like, well, the parts that I thought about that are bad are worse than that they really were when I first saw them. Mm-hmm. But the parts that are good, a little bit better than what I remember. And I'm still laughing at those things. Yeah, I want to just get my point straight, but yeah, it comes back to a rental, man.
What the hell? You know what? You do belong with these assholes.
Hey, man, I never said I was smart myself. Oh. Hey, man, I never said I was a genius, did I?
We had to redo this review just so you could give it the same rating?
Yup. Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas.
I hate you.
Is my toe still here? Hey, Martin, I love you, Martin.
Knock that tooth out for real.
Dumb and Number 3 coming soon.